Welcome to a muzzled chat. Now, I don't have time to sit here and prep my mind and such because I'd pretty much fail anyways. Why, you might ask? Well, I'm under attack. No surprise. I don't know if it's a parasite, some kind of bug. I kind of stay away from what Western medicine has been indoctrinating us with for some time now, with the bacterial, viral, because more traditionally it's parasitical, but could be new tech, frequency, warfare. I don't know, but I feel like I've slowly been physically losing this a little bit, but it'll be all right. Don't worry about me. I know with time I'll be just fine. I am concerned about you. I am concerned about our future. All of our futures. With this kangaroo court and what's happening with this nation, I am concerned about the United States of America and all of God's children. And what this shirt is representing right here, freedom. We have been losing this, and it blows my mind as to how weak we have been. Now, I don't mean to be coming from a place and stating it in a way that is insulting. It's just the reality of the situation. We have been intentionally diminished, demoralized, and dumbed down. I mean, just look at it. We've been so blind and ignorant and self-absorbed to where we got a freaking sitting pedophile threatening his own citizens sitting in the White House of this country. And we're just sitting back and allowing it. It's beyond hypocrisy. It's a hierarchy. And what they're doing to their political opponent is insanity. It's no longer about left and right. Whether you like or hate Trump, you gotta see and understand that there's a two-tiered system, that there's a ruling class, and we've been ruled over for some freaking time. We've connected all those dots, but it's important that we continue in such a way that lights a fire under our butts to hold ourselves accountable, because as much as Trump seems to pose a lot of solutions, we gotta be the solution. We can't just sit back and roll the dice as to any one individual coming in and cleaning things up for us. It is up to us. It's what it boils down to. So we got to acknowledge the dumbing down. We got to do what we can and be responsible on an individual level to pretty much undo all the poisons and toxins and all the effects it's had on our bodies and minds for some time, all the indoctrination. We've brought the receipts. They've effectively created a nation like they've quoted and wanted of workers and not of thinkers. And it might be hard for us to actually think about that, but it's a direct quote from the Rockefellers, who spent billions into our education systems over 100 years ago. There's so many different angles of attack as we've gone over ad nauseum. We must up our bandwidth so we can onboard the additional responsibility we all have as Americans. And it doesn't just apply to the citizens of this nation. This applies to any people, anywhere geographically in today's day and age, all across the globe, or the world? Why are the freaking masses sitting back and allowing the few to rule over them? Why? Has it not gotten bad enough yet? Stay tuned. We got some heavy hitting stuff. The floodgates have truly been opened. They tried to murder you and all your loved ones with a safe and effective bioweapon. Fancy that. And that's not enough. Just you stay tuned. We have the proof. We have the proof in this very episode that they tried to murder you. We actually have breaking news, which is very exciting for Arizonians, but it goes beyond Arizonians because this was a global thing. So even though the needle is being moved in the right direction right here on a local level, and you won't be hearing any of this from your local news station, so it's important that you find it and source it from platforms like this, and when you come across it, you spread it like wildfire so people can now acknowledge and see, oh my gosh, they tried to murder us. And with that, what happens? We should be able to see through and pass all their bullshit and unite and become unified and rule out this corruption once and for all. I don't know what better. I mean, there's all these different angles of attack. There's all this corruption. But I don't know what better topic to unify countries and people to rule out the corruption and the rulers than the failed genocide of the people. And it wasn't entirely a failure. They were wildly successful, unfortunately. In the reality of that death clock, it is just skyrocketing with the turbo cancers and all the other things. But dang it, the time is now. Stay tuned. You want to hear the good news. They're imprisoning you in your own mind with the indoctrinations, the mass psychosis, the mind control. I mean, MK Ultra tactics is real. Mind games, that's old school war tactics. There's so many. I want to go through them all. I do. And I want to hit it out of the park. But the reality of it is there's so much information to go over. Let's get that fire lit together and let's blast this. I'm not seeking accolades. Let's just blast this across the freaking globe because I want to see solutions to the betterment of all of you and all of humanity, especially our freaking children. This is a beautiful place and time to be where it's never been so black and white. Let's break out of the box of selfishness and self-serving, chasing the American dream or whatever is holding you back from becoming the best version of yourself and actually giving a damn. I'll be honest, to this day, that is what I still struggle with the most. That some very close to me still are just so absorbed into their lives as if they're not going to make, what difference are they going to make? What does it matter? And they got their hands full. And I get that. But there's ways of showing up and doing your part that you do have the bandwidth for, that you do have the time for. Minimally, it's in the form of supporting podcasts such as this. Some of the very basic calls to action we do here. Quit supporting big box stores that are using those funds against you. Support our affiliated companies and sponsors. Essentially, assist those that are on the front lines fighting on your behalf. And that is a minimal amount of time, energy, and effort that could be spent that would have a grave difference for platforms such as this and the impact it can have. The reality of what Unmuzzled Chat is doing. We're not the first. We're not the last. We are definitely not the only ones. But can you see, like, evil hasn't gone away? The tyranny is trying to ramp up. The censorship, all the things. So it's irrelevant. We're not trying to reinvent the wheel here. We're trying to lessen the days and ensure the proper shift in the tide takes place, and do everything in our power to do that. To all the Unmuzzled Chat warriors that have got this from day one, or that are more recently getting it and can get behind what we're trying to do, God bless you. Thank you. You are what's keeping me going here. This hasn't paid diddly. This is, but somehow God's providing a way. And I can't imagine doing anything else. We are clearly at war. I can't go bury my head in the sand or go focus on some, well, I just went on a little bit of a tangent there. There's so much I want to express and get off my chest. And I feel these limitations. And even as I try to motivate folks to up their resilience, I can feel mine diminished as I'm speaking. And I've had mega breakthroughs. There's something, I'm telling you, I'm going to gear up and get out in nature here, hopefully really soon. And we will see. We'll see if my neurons and everything just start firing better up there. Wouldn't that be a testament as to potentially how dangerous city life with all these signals and frequencies actually are? But I'm willing to make that sacrifice and get out there and do that to better serve you, to provide more proof and sound the alarm, whatever it takes. How many times am I going to say, let's dive in, and then I go off on another tangent? I apologize, but I love you guys. This is freaking crazy. I don't even know if we're going to have time to get through all this today, but wow. So this gentleman, I guess he's a big TikTok influencer, almost 1 million followers, finally decides, you know what? I don't care about losing sponsors or income. And he said some pretty powerful things. So let's give this a listen.
You know how many partnerships I'm going to lose for making this video? Do you know how many partnerships? I can see him calling me right now. I'm about to lose a lot of money, but I don't care. I ain't never done nothing for the money. I've never done nothing to make other people happy. I say what I want to say when I want to say it.
Good.
I'm for sure voting Trump 2024. Ain't no question in the world, dude. I am voting Trump 2024. And I ain't a liberal, so I can tell you why I'm going to do something,
why.
okay? The reason I'm going to vote Trump 2024 is because one main reason, this man getting the people treatment. He's getting the people treatment.
Right.
He ain't getting treated like a billionaire.
Right.
He ain't getting treated like a president. He ain't getting treated like a politician. He's getting treated like me. He's getting treated like me. And the people that I despise, the elites, the people that don't answer to the same law that I answer to, the people that can literally bat an eye and say, hey, make that disappear from me, and it's gone. The people that never get challenged on the disrespectful BS that they commit every single day, I can't stand. But this man's getting popped for things commoners don't even get popped for. This man is under scrutiny more than a black man downtown Compton with a bag of good in his pocket. This man is being sent through a sifter so fine that they're checking what type of toilet paper he uses to make sure there's nothing illegal.
Pretty much.
And this man is now a felon. One of the only people in politics, period, that's a felon. And y'all acting like you're fighting against the system when you are on the same side as the universities, the mainstream media, 99% of politicians, every manufacturing company that does their business overseas. You think you're fighting the system when your entire face is plastered over Target, Nike, Walmart. Every time your month comes around, you think you're fighting against the machine when you literally go to universities and they preach what you preach. Please, you are not going against the system. You are just not smart enough to realize you are the fuel and the cogs in the machine you don't even understand is bending you over a barrel. This is what's insane to me. Fight the system. How can you fight the system, Becky? You are literally the thing that makes the system work. Dye your hair something other than purple, get a brain, and come back again, and let's see what we can do. But this is why, no questions asked, I'm voting Trump 2024. This man does not get the special treatment. He is not on the side of the universities. He is not on the side of the Bilderberger meetings. He is not on the side of the Clintons, the Obamas, the Rockefellers, the universities, the large corporations. This man is the guy who's fighting the machine. This guy is the rage against the machine. He is the one that is giving you the ability to say, F this, I will not stand for it anymore. I'm not going to let you raise my taxes and have you send them overseas. I'm not going to let you tell me what I should put in my body, what I have to put in my body just to function in the world that is supposed to be free. No way, no how. Y'all literally want to preserve democracy when the president you put in place is the least democratic president we've had at any time in our history. Y'all have lost me. Y'all have lost me. You have no ability to compromise. You have no ability to put your pride to the side and be like, ooh, we effed up. You have no ability to look around and realize, no, it's not okay that prices are up. It's not okay that more people are being helped overseas than right here domestically. It's not okay that we can't solve our SA trafficking, yet they can pinpoint every last dollar that you spend, even if it's cash. You aren't asking the right questions. And I'll be damned if I stand by and not say something about it. So any company that is paying me, that is working with me, that sees this video and is like, oh my gosh, John's office rocker, drop my ass. I don't care. I am tired. Americans have been corralled into working for companies that control their freedom of speech outside of work. I'm not working for you right now. I'm not making a video for your product right now. So honestly, you shouldn't really have a problem with what I say. But the stifling of speech from apparently the free speech side of the aisle, right? I can't tell you how many emails I got back in 2020 and 2021 that had BLM, LGBTQ activist or whatever. Yet if I put Trump 2020 in my bio, they'd drop me like that. So where is the free speech? Why can't I like what I like and you like what you like? I'm not going to get mad if someone I work with or some company I work with is pro Joe Biden. I don't care, man. You have the freedom to do and think whatever you want.
Good point. Wow.
And I'm not here to tell you not to. But you want to control my speech and I ain't here for it. It's a long video and I got to stop. But I'm pissed off, man. I'm pissed off. This is a big deal. I think you guys are going to realize this in the next 3-4 years, how serious this is right now. And you're going to be pissed off that you didn't say something. Oh, I got too many followers.
Or pride.
I'm a big time builder. I have to make content for Milwaukee. If I say something, Milwaukee might drop me. Bro, drop my ass. See if I care.
Wow.
I think the true companies that really stand behind America and actually want their businesses to thrive and continue to grow and thrive in America understand exactly what I'm saying.
Now, I commend that strength. It was what can we call that? He pulled an Elon Musk to an extent. F him. Now, in the world view, you'd be making sacrifice. But you know how many companies? Do you even know for a second as to the opportunities that will come knocking at this young man's door? Evil would have you believe like you just got ostracized. But once again, that's just their war machine saying that, and the control structure that they still have, but they're losing it. So I commend this man for taking this stance and speaking such strength. I mean, it was motivational, right? More of us need to do this in our daily lives. And it doesn't matter whether you have near 1 million followers, or you only have a business of 2 employees. We all got to take this stance. Have that rub off on all those around us. Lead by example. We can't afford to do anything else at this point. Mad respect. Here's another rock star. The left knows how to bait black people, he states. Give this a listen.
The left knows exactly how to bait black people because they use things like racism. The other day, Michelle Obama went on TV. She gave a whole speech, talked about how Trump was this and Trump was that. And at the very end of what she said, she made sure to say, and yes, it is racist. You know why? Because the minute you call anything racist or you add race into it, black people get emotional and they come out. I don't try to convince Democrats to be Republican. What I try to convince them to do is know your history and read a little bit. Most Democrats can't tell you why they Democrats. They just hate Donald Trump. They can't even tell you what Biden did in 47 years, but they're going to vote for him. They can't tell you what Kamala did while she was in California, locking black people up left and right, but they're going to vote for her. When will the slaves get off the plantation? You know what happens when slaves get off the plantation? The house just tell on them.
What happened to rational thinking, right? And critical thinking? How could you blindly anti-Trump and stand for Biden and not know anything other than the talking points? Orange man bad. Freaking insanity. And we are reluctant to wear a MAGA hat or stand for truth, or no, you could tell me your name. I'm not going to play the game, the toxic game of pronouns. I mean, you name it. So many of the freaking nonsensical things evil has stood up in today's world. It is insanity. I don't mean to play the mind games on you, but as these read, I guess maybe it has a more profound impact, even though it speaks an untruth. Anyway, you'll get what I'm saying. States. Remember when Donald Trump had sex with an underage student, then had to leave his teaching post, making the student sign an NDA and pay the family nearly $3 million in hush money to stay quiet? Neither do I, because that was Justin Trudeau. But he's a liberal, so it's fine. Guys, this is unacceptable. Now, the way that's worded, I mean, I don't like doing it because the left will freaking take out that segment as though loony left, as though Donald Trump actually did that thing and take it out of context, right? So that's kind of why. It's just there's no lengths they are not willing to go. Lie, cheat, steal, murder, deceive. I mean, are we surprised? It's what Satan's doing. Let's continue. Pretty powerful stuff. Let's check out this guy. He does a great job. He dares Democrats to fact check. Give it a listen.
It's no surprise why they found Trump guilty on all 34 counts.
Right.
After all, he has them shook. But let me remind you guys once more why Trump is undoubtedly the greatest president of all time.
Let me talk to you.
6 million new jobs were created under Trump. Matter of fact, he took action to stop the outsourcing of jobs overseas. More than 3.6 million people came off of food stamps. We had the lowest unemployment rate in over 50 years. He created the biggest tax cuts ever for all social classes. He made America energy independent. He's the only president to take on human trafficking, aka modern slavery. He created a human trafficking task force and made January National Slavery and Human Trafficking Prevention Month. No new wars under Trump. Matter of fact, Trump brokered a number of historic peace deals in the Middle East. He secured our borders. He rebuilt the military and established Space Force. And let's not forget, he made less money while in office. But for all of his accomplishments, Trump has made it abundantly clear. The best is yet to come.
Love it. I love the hope. Very strong. Yeah, he's done a lot of amazing things. Crazy how that gets swept under the rug. Crazy how those that haven't educated themselves, they have no idea. We must find more strength, because isn't it clear, like we've pointed out before and stated and brought the receipts, World Economic Forum has stated that we're a bunch of hackable creatures. We need to find a way to unhack these individuals, fire up their engines, maybe through parasite cleanses, and who knows. Some may say now, like, how dare you support a convicted felon regarding Trump? But that is literally every Democrat voter. This is proof. This convicted felon, Floyd, and all these monuments built. Yeah, it's time to tear down all this crap. What has happened to this freaking country? It is insane. It's wild what's happening with our military bases regarding illegals and invading even the bases. Give this a listen.
So you mentioned breaches of a military base here in Texas. To be clear, it's not just in the state of Texas where there have been breaches of military bases by people who have come across the border illegally. It's happened in other states also. And the reason why it's happening is because we have a federal government that's not securing our federal military bases and not securing the border that allows people to cross the border illegally and to penetrate those military bases. It's just outrageous that the Commander-in-Chief of the United States of America is not putting national security forefront, and a core component of national security is securing our military installations. So it shows how chaotic and non-compliant.
We'll add the clips in. You get the point. But if you want to watch that in its entirety, it's just over 2 minutes. But it's treasonous. Why are we sitting back as citizens and allowing the circus to continue any longer blows my mind. Because when you actually look into how evil it is and the amount of suffering it's causing, any men with a pair would drop what they're doing and assemble and die trying to put a stop to it. Let's point out more treason, shall we? The army is not defending the nation. The police is not protecting the public. The law is not bringing criminals to justice. Politicians are not serving the people. The news isn't informing the masses. The doctors are not healing the sick. And hardly anyone gives a damn. Now there's a mass awakening. We give a darn, right? You're showing up in support, undoubtedly sharing to your abilities. You care. I applaud you for doing your part. If we only could magnify you and reach the masses, I can only imagine the impact we all could have together. Well, don't be disheartened as to what took place in the kangaroo court. Of course, that was going to be the outcome. But it's cool to see that this whole revolution is starting to happen worldwide. And this is just a short clip here in the UK. The whole world knows.
They are destroying
Trump
our
flags.
cultures. They're bringing us down. It's an attack on the West, and there's only one person who's going to stop it. You have that opportunity in November with these legends.
Trump sign. Trump encore. Let's go. I applaud the sheriff in California. Says he's changing teams. Enough is enough. Give this a quick listen.
Hello, California. It's Riverside County Sheriff Chad Bianco. You know, for the past 30 years, I've been doing everything I could to keep our community safe by arresting criminals and putting them in jail and putting them in prison, keeping them out of our neighborhoods. For the last 5 years, I've been very critical about our governor for slashing our budgets from corrections, for letting prisoners out early, for closing our prisons. I've been critical of our state legislature for passing laws to make it harder to put people in prison. I've been critical for their changing laws that let prisoners out early. And I've been critical for our attorney general for seemingly not caring about crime.
Critical. It's
really being an
unacceptable.
embarrassment to law enforcement. And this love affair that our governor and our state legislature have with criminals is based on the belief that criminals are not responsible for their own actions. They're a victim of society. And really, it's our fault. It's society's fault. It's business's fault. It's cops' fault.
You know what? I'm going to skip to the end, folks.
It might be my and I hope that you're all with me. I hope that you all have this change of heart. You all feel that this is definitely the right thing to do, and you come alongside me in this venture. And I think it's time that instead of letting them out of jail and giving them alcohol and drugs and everything else, I think it's time we put a felon in the White House.
Yeah.
Trump 2024, baby. Let's save this country and make America great again.
Amen. Brave. Now we got to support sheriff like that, especially in California. You know they're coming for his badge now. This pretty much sums it up. They want you to be godless, sexless, genderless, childless, depressed, anxious, afraid, fat, drug addicted, lonely, physically weak, mentally weak, in debt, isolated, living in a pod, eating bugs, and dependent on the state for everything. Yeah. The ruling class wants that for each and every one of us. Truth. Are we getting allowed to get to that point? Now here's another fella that plays a little bit of a trick on us, but it has a profound effect. Give this a listen.
And he said, Dad, guess which is it? Is it NBA or NFL? 36 have been accused of spousal abuse. 7 have been arrested for fraud. 19 have been accused of writing bad checks. 117 have directly or indirectly been bankrupted at least 2 businesses. 3 have done time for assault. 71, I repeat, 71 cannot get a credit card due to their bad credit.
Wow.
14 have been arrested on drug-related charges. 8 have been arrested for shoplifting. 21 currently are defendants in lawsuits, and 84 have been arrested for drunk driving in the last year.
Wow.
How many of you think NBA? How many of you think NFL? Well, the answer is neither. It's the 435 members of the United States Congress.
See, I was sitting here saying wow throughout the whole thing because I knew, right? So now it actually hit totally different knowing who, in fact, he was talking about. And these stats were tied to the rulers need their puppets to be degenerates. Am I saying that right? They need them to be fallible, bribable, corruptible beings. That's why it doesn't surprise me. You look at these leaders in Congress, and the majority of them are a bunch of freaks. Time to clean freaking house. Might as well just burn down these gotta watch what I say here. But it's so disgusting what's been done. We probably need a new White House and things to operate out of because the corruption and the evil there, it's just, gosh dang. This picture's weighs on my heart. As a former contractor, I mean, I still work with my hands, help out where I can, but it's just insane. Nothing like plumbers and electricians paying the student loans of lawyers. What a great scheme. And you see these hard-working men forking out all their hard earnings. It's time we get educated. Once again, go to stewpeters.com. Watch Slave Nation. Go to freedomlawschool.org. Why are we paying federal income tax to our enemies that are using that money against us? I don't get it. I'm not behind bars. Not planning on being anytime soon. Let's go. It's time to get educated. If that wasn't motivational enough for you, give this a listen.
How did we go from fighting a revolution over a 2% tax on a breakfast beverage to what we pay today? And we're taxed on money when we receive it, when we spend it, when we keep it, when we invest it, and even when we die with it. It gets worse. We commute to work to make that money in a car that is taxed again to register on roads we're already taxed to build, fueled by gas that is taxed even further, and many times through tolls that tax you again. And that's to maintain bridges and highways and tunnels that already have billions of dollars, taxpayer dollars, allocated to them, and they're still falling apart. And then when you get to your office that is taxed to exist, in a corporation that is also taxed to do business, that almost certainly requires permits and other things, which are another tax, you are paid a paycheck that the corporation must match another payroll tax on top of what they have to pay you. Then you go to a home of which you are taxed to own every single year that we bought with money that the government already taxed us on. Oh, by the way, the more money you make and the more you pay in taxes warrants the government taking more and even higher percentages of your money.
What? Yeah, play that back 10 more times till it's like, yep, I'm going to watch Slave Nation now. I'm going to freedomlawschool.org. We are the solutions. If we choose to be. Do we choose to be? Are we too far gone? I guess only time will tell. We're going to continue showing up and trying to light that spark or that fire enough till the proper shift takes place. Where does wokeness come from? Any of you know? Happy Pride. Ugh, disgusting. Give us a listen.
Have you ever wondered why Western society has become so woke? Well, to answer this question, we have to look at the Frankfurt School. Founded in 1923 by two Jewish Marxists named Karl Grunberg and Felix Weil. The basic idea was that traditional class Marxism was not effective in creating a communist revolution in a lot of these Western countries. So Marxist scholars theorized that the only way to successfully have a revolution in these countries would be through other means, like the culture and the institutions. But they were kicked out of Germany in 1933 when the National Socialists came to power and saw them as a communist threat to the nation. So they packed up, and after a while they made their new home at Columbia University, New York City. By now the institute was under the leadership of Max Horkheimer, another Jewish Marxist. Horkheimer, along with another Jewish Marxist named Theodor Adorno, would come up with concepts like critical theory. The basic idea of critical theory was to criticize and undermine every aspect of traditional Western society, which would ultimately lay the groundwork for things like critical race theory, anti-white rhetoric. They would also go on to write books like The Authoritarian Personality, which alleges that anti-Semitism and hatred comes from things like a healthy family life,
it's all intentional,
having pride in one's country, or having pride in one's race. Herbert Marcuse was another prominent figure in the Frankfurt School, and he was another Jewish Marxist. Along with a couple other Jewish Marxists, they were incredibly influential in the 1960s New Left movement, laying the foundation for things like the LGBT movement, radical feminism, sexual liberation, and political correctness, and really just laying the groundwork for what we would know today as wokeness. They also proposed that the best way to propagate these ideas would be through radio, television, mass media, film, and education. And well, you get the idea. But the main point of this video was really to shine a light on all of the prominent members, being Horkheimer, Adorno, Marcuse, Walter Benjamin, Erich Fromm. All these people are Jewish.
Group,
and even Israeli historian Gershom Scholem once said that the Frankfurt School was a Jewish sect.
It's all been planned.
But hey, I'm sure that's just a coincidence.
On that note, I'm going to jump ahead to a couple of these other clips, but stay tuned because we're going to dive into some of the floodgates. We got some powerful news, good news coming in. Give this a listen.
I know we have Pride Month. Well, what are we celebrating? First of all, how about we don't celebrate Pride? Pride's a cardinal sin. And you might say, well, they don't mean pride. They mean it's a group of oppressed people, and now they're just finding their identity, and they're getting some security in that identity. And so what they mean by pride is security in that identity. Like the word's pride. That's the word that was chosen. And it's pride in relationship, as far as I can tell, to nothing but hedonistic self-gratification. It's like your identity is going to be your sexual desire. That's your identity. Your sexual desire. So that means you've reduced your identity to the most immature and hedonistic part of you, the part that would exploit someone else for your own gratification, for example, the part that would exploit you for your own gratification. And now that's your identity. And now that's what we celebrate. Yeah, no, that's a very bad idea.
Very bad idea. And Satan's behind it. Let's open up this article here. Misplaced pride. No pride in gay life. The facts. Gays, 1% of the population, yet 33% of the child molesters, 67% of all AIDS cases, 78% have a sexual disease, have lifespans 20 years shorter than normal. 28% of gay men have had 200 partners or more. This is disgusting. 23% of children who had lesbian mothers have been sexually molested by a parent or other adult. Rape and sexual assault before an age of 16 are strongly correlated with homosexual behaviors. Boils my blood. Gays believe the body's waste disposal unit is a sex organ. It's freaking This is why homosexuality throughout Western history has been classified as a mental disorder and a criminal offense in order to protect children from this dangerous behavior. Suicide levels among gays are significantly higher than heterosexuals. Homosexuality is 3 times more fatal than smoking or obesity. That's a lot to be proud of. No. None ya. It's freaking disgusting. We need to shut this down. Talking about pedophiles. It's freaking sick. There's a video here of pedophile Joe Biden, young girl, inappropriately touching and kissing. But the title to this is what's kind of powerful. Voting for a felon is much better than voting for a pedophile. I agree. Especially it's show me the person, I'll show you the crime. It's not innocent until proven guilty. You are guilty, now prove your innocence. What a freaking joke. Laws for thee, but not for me in this title. In this picture, I'm not even going to enlarge it. It's disgusting, even though it's not showing like private parts or anything, but it's got an underage girl and Hunter Biden, and they're both naked. She's a child. Why is Hunter not in jail? This is freaking ridiculous. What are we doing? Aren't we going to be judged? We can't allow this to continue. Let's go. Tell me the place. Let's go. Time and place. Time to clean house. This is ridiculous. And I know we've stated it before, but they added one extra thing on here and it just brings a little more meaning. Donald Trump was convicted before anyone on Epstein's client list. This is why our country doesn't trust the current government. So this is crazy. Listen to this rotting bag of oatmeal, as Dan would say.
I remember this for years. And by the way, you notice your finding helicopter? Those cases were big roofs. They didn't do it. Yeah. So we got to change that. We're going to put some trees.
You need to listen to that, but I can hear it clearly on my end. I mean, it's hard. You got to crank it up. But Joe Biden, quote, you noticed when you fly over with a helicopter, those places with blue roofs, they didn't burn. So we got to change that anyway. Yeah, these freaking fires, everything that's happening, it's attacks. Strategically attacking our food sources. I mean, think about it. Really think about it. This rotting bag of oatmeal and what he just said. Once again, quote, You notice when you fly over with a helicopter, those places with blue roofs, they didn't burn. So we gotta change that. Anyway, think on that. Why would the President of the United States say this? Obviously, a mentally challenged one. Let's think. Could it be that he's concerned with the weaponry they are using to light ablaze and incinerate much of things that negatively impact we, the people, might actually catch on to said weaponry that they are using on us? There's been like a whole documented thing about these like certain lasers and stuff and blue. I'm not an expert in it, but I can read between the freaking lines. And he's stating that they got to change that because they do not want us to catch on. If we truly catch on to our own government, like this is guilty by admission right here. That they're strategically doing it. Who is responsible? That we are directly being attacked? It's no different than as if they dropped a freaking bomb on Maui or these farms or in Texas and on the cattle ranches all over the place. And that's what blows my mind. We're too busy or whatever you want to say to realize they're literally dropping bombs on us. Is that not what you read? Am I wrong here? Listen to this next bit, because this next bit is mind-blowing. You cannot have all these coincidences. It's strategically being... Why? We're literally being attacked. And what is wrong with the world? Blind. It's just blindness. Hacked. It's the only thing I can think of. I mean, give this, news anchor actually risks her life to speak the truth about Hawaii. The title says, "Never forget they destroyed Maui with a direct energy weapon. Adieu. And states stole hundreds of kids." The dots are connecting. Give this a listen.
I've been in this business for 30 years. I'm stunned, but I'm not surprised. The dots are connecting. And coincidence seems to be the story here, right? But the true story, the media knows it is not allowed to tell. But I can. Is it a coincidence that the Maui police chief is the same man who was in charge in Las Vegas during that massacre that killed 58?
No, it's not a coincidence.
Is it a coincidence that the Maui property, owned by million and billionaires, wasn't touched by the flames while homes of the locals all burned?
No.
Was it a coincidence that the flames traveled across hundreds of feet of pavement and crossed a 4-lane highway with emergency shoulders to jump into the ocean and then burn all the boats? Was it a coincidence that the largest system of outdoor emergency sirens in the world never made a sound as the fire devoured Lahaina?
Right.
Was it a coincidence that at the same time, very same time, all the water was turned off? Was it a coincidence that police were ordered to block off streets and to funnel all the cars trying to escape onto one road where that firestorm incinerated entire families?
Insane.
How about the coincidence that the governor of Hawaii, Josh Green, just weeks before that inferno, signed a pledge to the UN's 2030 Agenda of Sustainable Development, pledging to eliminate emissions? Weird. And think about this coincidence. That governor also signed an emergency proclamation on July 17th, 3 weeks before the fire, about housing.
Unbelievable. There's so many more non-coincidences that are extremely eye-opening and blood-boiling and unacceptable, that exposes evil. It's to a point I wish I could just multiply myself enough to just go out and make a difference. It's what we're trying to accomplish here. Help us achieve that. hope you can grasp what we're trying to do. Okay, let's shift into the health side of things. My gosh, this gal does a terrific job. Give this a listen.
Something that always cracks me up is when people who are like super deep into Western medicine ideology think that people in natural health just haven't seen the data. They're like, you guys obviously have just not seen the studies or you would know better. Like, you just haven't seen the data. I'm always like, the data that came from the institutions that hijacked our medical model 110 years ago and forced natural health modalities to be removed from medical school curriculum so they could focus on pharmaceutical drugs because natural medicine was in direct competition to the advancement of modern medicine. Those people, I don't look at their data to base my entire belief system about holistic health. Wow, shocker! Do you want to know what data you haven't seen? How about 5,000 years of natural health modalities that have been used around the world since the dawn of time? The United States of America includes well under 5% of the healing modalities used globally in our medical model. We are 4% of the world's population, and we use 41% of the world's pharmaceutical drugs.
Wow.
So yeah, we do not look at the same sets of data. And yeah, I have trust issues with the people you're getting your information from.
Oh my gosh, isn't that good? Oh my gosh. How many people do you know that needs to see that? Be able to recite it back. Like, did you absorb what she stated? The words that came out of her mouth? Do you understand and can grasp? Yeah. I don't know. We're still going to go trust the data. I don't know, man. People are hacked, I guess. We gotta reach out. I mean, come on. Isn't it telling when the director general, whatever, Tedros of the World Health Organization, who pushed COVID vaccines to supposedly, whatever, just pushed these bioweapon jabs, did not take the vaccine himself? Perhaps you should start asking the obvious question. He dances around it in a certain way. Listen, give it a listen.
Thank you so much for taking the time to meet with me. Thank you. Thank you for having me. I want to ask you about your own vaccination. You got your first shot when? You know, still I feel like I know where I belong. In a poor country called Ethiopia, in a poor continent called Africa, and wanted to wait until Africa and other countries in other regions, low-income countries, start vaccination. So I was protesting, in other words, because we're failing.
Wow. So let me get this straight. You were protesting, standing with your people that weren't getting the shot. That was a form of protest as to why you didn't get the shot, because they weren't getting the shot, as you were influencing millions and commanding millions to get the shot. That's your excuse? Yeah. No comment. Japanese, this is huge. Japanese leader apologizes to the unvaccinated. You were right. Vaccines are killing millions of our loved ones. Quote, I apologize to all of you. So many have died, and they shouldn't have. Floodgates are opening. As much as that's a step in the right direction, that doesn't fix the genocide. That doesn't bring these people back. It doesn't fix the ones that are suffering with it to this day. It's proof, though, the floodgates opening of, hey, guys, from what we've been saying all along, this has been a bioweapon. This hasn't been good for anyone. No one, not one person benefited from that. More breaking news. Dr. Boz, former pro-vaxxer, speaks out against vaccine. Quote, we were fooled. The vaccines are poison. Proof. You're right. you were fooled. And my heart goes out to you. It truly does. Luckily, not everyone was fooled. But I don't have amnesia, and I haven't forgotten how pro-vax individuals such as yourself were tyrannical against those that simply expressed concerns, legitimate concerns, and how you would dox them, how you would slander them, how you would point at them as the unvaccinated were the issue. No rational thinking. But now, when the evidence is overwhelming and you're potentially faced with being on the wrong side of history, now apologies or admissions are being had. Who am I to judge? All I know is there's no immunity for crimes against humanity. And if you so happen to be one of those doctors that injected into innocent children's arms this bioweapon, good freaking luck. Plead your ignorance all you want. I get that there was a level of psyop and brainwashing in some, up to a point, didn't know any better, but it took extra amounts of stupid, extra amounts of efforts to stay stupid and continue doing it, because the reality of it is there are still people in this country administering it to this day. That's beyond ignorant. I'm just so grateful to see it is clearly the best thing you could do for yourself. It's a little late in my eyes, very late, but it is the best thing you could do. And I just would hope you would fight tooth and nail to this doctor to eradicate these bioweapons, now knowing what you know. Maybe, in fact, you could end up saving more lives than you destroyed. Guess we'll see. Now, this is breaking as far as I'm concerned. Now, I've been reaching out, trying to get solidified verification on it and what all this entails. Clearly, no one in media is going to be reporting on this, which is insanity. Because as this is taking place, I still can't upload this episode to ScrewTube. Much of what I've said here would not jive on TikTok and so many platforms. Why? It's proof. Arizona lawmakers just declared COVID injections a biological weapon. They are calling on the governor to ban and seize all the COVID vaccines for forensic analysis. This is freaking huge. It states that lawmakers in Arizona just passed a ban on the jab resolution. Freaking my Arizonians, reach out to us. Is this true? I've been building up recordings to pharmacies, trying to have impacts. I just haven't compiled it all yet to create a very colorful episode for you guys regarding all these conversations, serving Nuremberg, trying my best to have the conversation with these people of like, look, this is on your behalf. I don't know why you're taking offense. You yourself in your job potentially could put you behind bars because there's no immunity for crimes against humanity. And at this stage of the game, if you're still going to inject this into people's arms, couldn't you be held liable for that? There's no immunity to that. So I want verification on this. Obviously, I need to be doing more of my due diligence in here too. But as soon as I came across this article, I just was too tickled pink, had to get it out there. Golly, I suppose versus just incinerating them all, forensic analysis could be the better thing if in fact it's getting done by trustworthy sources. Could we ensure that it's transparent and trustworthy? Another article. Okay, I love this one. Anyone Still falling for the scam at this point? Like, question mark. Courts find PCR test 97% inaccurate, confirming the test was solely used to fabricate cases and, quote, COVID deaths. This court in Portugal has ruled that the PCR tests widely used for COVID-19 detection are 97% inaccurate and therefore unfit for their purpose. This is something we knew right out the freaking gate. We could see it with the false positives where people would send in unopened tests or they test their tap water or oranges. Like it's like, what pandemic at the point the testing's defective? Ugh. It's crazy. But it's great to see all this. Let the floodgates flow. I mean, this is beyond huge and groundbreaking. Is this not the smoking gun? Doesn't this expose so much of the corruption in the political realm, the news organizations, the social media platforms? A lot of individuals, such as Bill Gates, Fauci. Isn't this a smoking gun against every single person that said this is a pandemic of the unvaccinated, pushing this bioweapon? How could they have all horrifically gotten it all so wrong? And they went to every single length to people getting fired, people losing pensions, people getting kicked from the armed forces, potentially facing military, being court-martialed. I can't even, in this moment, think of all the crazy different situations, but there were so freaking many for everyone that was, you can't come around our kids or the holidays without, like, doesn't this expose everything? And not from a, hey, I'm right, you're wrong stance. It just exposes everything all the way up to the ruling class and the ruled. I mean, it's not even a coincidence that TED Talk of Bill Gates talking about world population being an issue and how they could depopulate. If they do a really good job, we could change those numbers. We could decrease humanity's numbers by 10 or 15% through good health care and vaccinations. And then he becomes a vaccine salesman, and then this is the outcome. Now, he's just one of the puppets to the rulers. But isn't this the smoking gun to it all? Can't we sit on this singular topic and see it? Wow. From these government individuals to these news organizations to every single social media platform that kicked people off to this day, mind you, to this day. Can you see how evil YouTube is? Because to this day, can't negatively speak out on that. TikTok, same thing. They're still trying their hardest to keep from this information getting out. That means a little more weight on my shoulders, a little more weight on your shoulders to get this message out. Please do your part. Go above and beyond. We cannot afford, because the sooner we plant this and get people pondering how bad, like, we got it. I mean, humility's key. We got to all eat some humble pie. I'll be the first to admit I've gotten a lot of things wrong, and I still get a lot of things wrong. I'm horrifically, humanly faulty. I'm trying my best to acquire the proper levels of discernment and things. And I believe God, as I'm seeking that relation above all, is gifting me discernment on levels I wouldn't necessarily be able to achieve just being natural man. But I say that in hopes that everyone, like, let go of pride, let go of ego, because it's through realizing, wow, we got some things wrong, and holding ourselves accountable and really questioning things, and then sitting on this information, looking at the infrastructure, then we can be like, you know what? Yeah, it isn't about, and it never was about, like, being right and wrong. It was to protect. It was to unite. It was to, now I get it on both sides. I mean, dude, people's lost their patience, lost their cool, but we got to let all that go and set it down, because unfortunately these evil doers are not freaking done. You think they're done with this? No, there's so many other things coming down the pipe. And the same individuals, like, they're behind the poisoning in the food. They're behind the poisoning in our skies and in our water. And I get it. It was tough. It was going to be tough for some people to grasp, but now with the floodgates, they're going to be able to grasp the vaccine, where they wouldn't even open their eyes to the chemtrails. Now they're going to start opening their eyes to the chemtrails. And we just, through the smoking gun, significantly grew our army. It's exciting, but we got to do our part. Let's get this message out there. Golly, this just shows the chemtrails in a lit up sky and what it states here. We got to grasp. Imagine a population so brainwashed that you could convince them to be terrified of a virus that they have never seen, while spraying them daily in broad daylight, only for them to deny it's happening to them, because no one on the TV told them it was happening. Kind of. Oh, the lunacy. This one with the combination of pictures of a singular sky of the chemtrails, and then how it's dissipating, and then it led to full blanketing. But just condensation. We're being poisoned. We got to put an end to this. Could this in fact be could this be more than even the frequencies? Could it be the combination? We don't know. We got to eradicate it all. But could this be what's impacting me? Could this be what's impacting you and holding you back from being the best version of yourself and having the energy you need to have for your children and your jobs and get your life back? I know it seems like it's an uphill battle, but gosh dang, we can't. It all starts individually and accountability. And we got to do our research, and we got to stop freaking lying to ourselves and being fearful of speaking out on truth. I mean, we know there's predators out there. Having this warning, and the reality of it is, like, you got to take this serious, because women and children have been preyed upon, especially with the invasion that's taken place. These people, so many of these people, they don't care about you. There were all these stats in these other countries of their crime rates going down because they, like, offloaded their prisons, and wrongdoers essentially offboarded them here to the States. And it's our problem now. But I just want to sound the alarm on it so we're protected.
This is a public service announcement. Please, ladies, pay attention. Traffickers and just thugs are more ruthless out there now than ever before. If you ever see something, piece of clothing, piece of money hanging off your car or sticking underneath your door handle, do not touch it.
Now, I don't know if this is staged or real or what. Obviously, like, I don't know. But what's happening, it seems to be a security camera. This freaking guy in a hat like comes up with a backpack to this car. It's clearly of like an attractive woman you'll see here in a bit. But he pulls this like item of clothing, like it seems to be somewhat attractive item of clothing that's going to get her attention, that she's not just going to disregard and throw right directly onto the street. But he drapes it over her mirror. He pulls his shirt up over his face and then does some type of spray to the clothing and then quickly runs across the street and hides. And I'll get ahead of the video. Might as well just explain it now. But because she ends up coming up to it, pulling it off, checking it out, and in a surprising amount of time starts stumbling and drops the item and leans against the car. And it seems like she was on the verge of losing consciousness. As to whether this is real or not, now I don't know what concoction. I know there's chloroform or something that could be used, but I guess there's other more potent things that could be mixed together to where I guess this actually could legitimately happen. So it's important to just be alert, aware of our surroundings, to be wise and not foolish and fall prey. And if something looks out of place, just use good judgment. Don't even go up to your car if you're closer to a public place and ask a staff member of, the restaurant or something like, hey, there's a strange thing on my car. Or, get in that public space and call the police, call family, call friends. Just be smart.
The criminals, traffickers, rapists are spraying pieces of clothing like you just saw this jackass do, and then they wait for you to just come by and remove it. I've got 2 daughters in my 20s. I've got a grandbaby, and I am truly, truly concerned about the state of our country. When criminals don't get prosecuted,
right,
and progressive DAs,
right, sure,
let criminals back out.
That's a good point.
With little to no bail at all, it leaves all of us vulnerable.
Just please be careful out there. Another thing to be aware of. This is a clip here. How about just take my word on this one if you want to see it, because how long is it? It's 5.5 minutes, but it proves how Google is manipulating. Well, it states it by Google manipulates humanity by hiding certain information and imposing other information. I mean, it's wild what they simply prove here on a single search, and millions of things pop up, but then you try to get to the millions, and it only goes a few pages over, and then there's only a few hundred left. It's like, what? So it's censoring content, and it's biased content. So if you're using Google, just know there are better things to use. DuckDuckGo. I'm currently using Brave. Freaking have no complaints with it. It's working great. While we mash through this today, I just want you to remember that God is here for us. Do I need to play back the proof, that clip of that miracle taking place? God healing that man's, restoring his voice. There's nothing coincidental about that. And it was so beautiful. But we could see how evil's perverting so many things, even perverting my body, my choice. And we must be pro-life. I have yet to meet some pro-choice advocate be pro-murder for adults. But who are we to define when life begins? I mean, biblically, it's clear. And reality would say it takes one very specific act to create life. Sex between a man and a woman. That's the only way human life gets created. So with that act, like after the fact of that act, there is no choice. It's murder. This clip is beautiful. Light happens when life happens. We are not random. Let this support that strength of pro-life and ending these millions of murders taking place over, like, evil's preying on us in a sick, twisted way, for us to rule out responsibility. And I get there's questionable lines, but it's not questionable. We should champion women no matter what situation is given pro-life, no matter what. Give this a quick watch. This is beautiful.
So this is the documented moment of conception. And the sperm enters the egg, and there's this poof of light that comes off of it. Scientists are studying this, and they're looking at it, and they're like, okay, well, it looks like it's a release of zinc, a burst of zinc that comes off the egg, and it creates this appearance. But any way you slice it, they can't explain away that light happens when life happens.
Wow.
Isn't that amazing? Light happens when life happens. In the beginning, God spoke, boom, life entered the earth, light happened. When God spoke you into being, light happened.
Wow.
Life came and light happened. Biblically, we equate light with life. Light and life go together. It is the nature of God, and so when we walk in light, we are walking in life.
That's beautiful. Wow. All right, folks. So this book is amazing. It's a powerful tool. I really enjoyed meeting Jenny here. She has an incredible story, and mad respect to her and taking the action and giving us such a powerful tool. Be sure to check out the book. Just resort to the episode with Jenny, but this could help red pill some folks and bring them into the light. Why not? Let's do the daily devotional. We got June 1st. Reads, I am involved in each moment of your life. I have carefully mapped out every inch of your journey through this day, even though much of it may feel haphazard because the world is in a fallen condition. Things always seem to be unraveling around the edges. Expect to find trouble in this day. At the same time, trust that my way is perfect even in the midst of such messy imperfection. Stay conscious of me as you go through this day, remembering that I never leave your side. Let the Holy Spirit guide you step by step, protecting you from unnecessary trials and equipping you to get through whatever must be endured. As you trudge through the sludge of this fallen world, keep your mind in heavenly places with me. Thus the light of my presence shines upon you, giving you peace and joy that circumstances cannot touch. And I needed that. We gotta continually recharge ourselves with His word, His light, His peace, His strength. I mean, He's there for us. Like, it's such a gift, such a blessing. We all need it, especially during these trying times and these blessed times. There's 2 scripture references for this one today. We got Psalm 18:30. Reads, God's way is perfect. All the Lord's promises prove true. He is a shield for all who look to Him for protection. We need His protection. I need His protection. I pray we all seek His protection. We got Isaiah 41:13. For I hold you by your right hand, I, the Lord, your God, and I say to you, don't be afraid. I am here to help you. That's comforting. We are so not worthy. We can't even fathom his love. Imagine it. It's unthinkable. Are you like me, sick and tired of looking around and seeing the world we live in? Well, there's action we can take. Have you called Patriot Mobile yet? Have you reached out to them? That's a very simple call to action that will minimize the abilities financially evil by funding the other tyrannical providers. Supporting a Christian conservative provider is a great solution. Click on the link below. If you call in, use promo code unmuzzled. They'll waive the fees for you. Let's go. Let's take these steps. If you're like me and you're concerned about the frequencies, check out Centropic's products. Look in the description below and click on those links. And if you got any questions, just reach out. If you're not filling up to par in any way, shape, or form, we know we live in a toxic environment. Detoxify your body. Bond Charge has helped me greatly. I love their infrared sauna blanket. You can get over $100 off with the 15% provided below. Just click the link in the description. Also, to help detoxify the body, check out Masterpiece. Other than that, guys, get some Freedom merch. Get this very shirt from Black Eagle Apparel. It's time to start leading by freaking example. And you can do it with freaking awesome t-shirts, whether it's through Black Eagle Apparel or Stand Up Now. They got hats, all sorts of stuff. Guys, thank you for supporting this platform and doing all you can. Let's keep it up. Let's push it. Let's push the envelope that much more each and every time. I want to thank you. I came into this actually really struggling, but I'm feeling a little better now. Kind of funny how that works, right? It's like we get blessed by showing up and taking action in ways. So I want to thank you guys for that. It's time to go. Let's go. Let's go, Brandon. God bless you. God bless America. Till next time, take care.